Most improved player?
Yes.
Man, he's right there. I don't know if Paul George is eligible. What? What's wrong?
Montrezl Harrell
Has been unbelievable, too. Both these guys
he's in the conversation.
This can't happen. This can't happen.
Sixers Bucks. Giannis backing down Ben Simmons.
There ain't no footage of anybody doing this to you at no stage of your career.
At all. And I guarded forwards, and centers. That never happened. I'm taking a foul. You going to the line,
Pull
partner.
the tape, y'all.
You going to the line, partner.
Man, there's footage of David West doing this to you, standing over you, actually.
More from this one. LeBron.
I'm taking all wages.
Nope. In transition.
I ain't never been dunked on.
Game. Knicks, Lakers throwing down a great pass through traffic.
Great pass. Hold on. I need to revisit this. Did you just claim you've never been dunked on?
Pull up the footage. Never in my career, ever.
Never in
Ever.
your career.
I got dunked on in 9th grade.
Never.
Dude was a beast.
Jenna, go ahead.
Okay, moving on to the Warriors. They clinched their 7th straight playoff appearance over the weekend with a dominating 110-88 win over the Thunder. Steph and Klay combined for 56 points in order to take down one of their biggest threats in the Western Conference. Keep in mind they did it without Kevin Durant, still nursing the sore ankle. Stephen, what do the Warriors prove in the blowout win without KD?
I was at that game, and they're starting to look unstoppable again. I mean, not even having KD out there, I think the best part, like I told him earlier, Boogie's getting in shape. He's been aggressive on both ends. They are going inside. You never seen Golden State play like this. They're really pounding that ball inside, especially when not having KD on the team. But those Steph and Klay, they just showing that they're in rare form right now, and this team is ready for the playoffs. You can see it.
I mean, Steph was Steph. Steph was spectacular, and Klay was spectacular defensively. Klay eliminated Russell Westbrook. It was Russ's worst game of the year.
I mean to cut you off. I was at that game. Russ was just off. He got every shot he wanted. He got to the basket a lot. He was just off. I don't think it was too much of Klay.
Okay, well, all right, we can disagree on the point, but Russ was, whether it was Klay.
Look at that last shot, he was wide open.
I understand that, but you want Russ to be taking threes. You want Russ, when you're guarding Russ, the goal is to keep him outside of the restricted area, and Klay was, I thought, and the team defense doing a great job of that. If you're the Thunder, you almost throw this game away because Russ was so bad. Russ is not going to go 2 for 16. He's not going to score 7 points. The Warriors, it to me looked like a vintage 2016 Warriors game. Draymond's hitting threes, Steph's going crazy, Klay's getting his 20-plus, playing great defense. Now, the Boogie part's different, but, I mean, Draymond looked like the old Draymond for a night. Oh, you're going to give me these open threes? I'm not going to bang them off the side of the backboard. I'm going to knock them down. If the Warriors play like this, of course they're unbeatable. Yeah. They play like this, and without Kevin Durant, you blow out Oklahoma City in a very important game for OKC. I don't know. I think there were a bunch of outlier instances. Russ's performance, Draymond's performance, and I don't think Boogie's a positive for him. You and I are just going to disagree on this because you mentioned during the break, he's really trying on defense. He can try as hard as he wants. I don't think he can be a good defensive player. But I don't think they need him once Kevin Durant comes back. But I'm not going to read too much into this game. The Warriors were, of course, the big favorites before this game and the big favorites after this game. But I'm not going to overreact to Saturday night's game.
Well, you shouldn't overreact to Saturday night's game, but what they did to Houston. You know, the combination of those two games, because if you look at the energy for which they're playing with, because there are some things that Golden State and would have made them special. Their ability to be able to shoot the ball, how they pass the ball, their movement, and also how many layups they can get because of their overall ball movement. What I'm talking about now is their post game. When you throw the ball in the Boogie Cousins and you have all these people cutting, and you can't help on Boogie Cousins. There's no one that can play him one-on-one in the paint. So that part right there I'm encouraged about. And from a defensive standpoint, they are playing the best defense that they have played this season. So now I got an added post game in Boogie Cousins. I'm back to playing top 5 defense, which I saw when they Houston and in the OKC. So I see a lot of positive things. Couple other things as far as injury and health. You made a great point about Boogie Cousins. He's going to be in better shape at the end of this month, getting ready for the playoffs, and now these additional minutes, they only help that. He looks thinner than he had been earlier in the season. And Klay is just coming off of where they gave him 3 games rest because of his knee. He looks refreshed. So now coming down the stretch, the way they've had these injuries where Steph was injured early, all right? Draymond was injured in the middle, all right? Klay and KD kind of injuries were at the same time. Klay came back. Now KD is out. It's how you get injured and when you get injured in the NBA. and they have had a remarkable
5 years running.
I mean, clean slate as far as lack of injuries that affected them, especially in the playoffs, Jenna.
You mentioned, Stephen, that you feel like this team is finally rounding itself out and getting itself into place, getting ready for the playoffs. Because we talked all year long about how hard it is when you're a team like the Warriors who just win, the malaise that you suffer just from having been there and done that. You feel like they've turned a corner, we'd say the switch, like they've turned the switch on, like you feel like now they are getting playoff ready where they're all on the same page?
Well, they've been having the switch in their hand all season.
But they haven't switched it yet.
Right, because it wasn't time. Now it's time. Last 15, 20 games, you want to go into the playoffs playing well. You want to go into the playoffs playing healthy. And like he said, if the injury bug happened perfect for them, because KD is the only one that hasn't had a rest this year. These are the first games he's missing, so it's perfect for them. They're going to go into the season with their closer rested. They're in trouble. The league's in trouble.
It was going to take one of two things for the Warriors to not win the championship this year. Either just really bad injury luck, it looks like the opposite's happening with them, or the Rockets peaking at the exact right time. That, to me, is why the game against Houston, to me, was much more noteworthy than the game against OKC. I think OKC can maybe take them to 6. Maybe. I think if they play OKC, it's probably 4-1 Golden State, and that's with no disrespect to what Paul George and Russ have done throughout the year. Houston can beat this team. Would I pick them to beat this team? Probably not. But Houston has shown they have a blueprint for it, that they have a player that Golden State cannot guard in James Harden, and they would have beat them last year if Chris Paul stayed healthy. Now, this year when they play, they're going to have Game 1 on Golden State's floor, and if it gets there, a Game 7 on Golden State's floor. But Houston is happy with the idea that Boogie Cousins is getting in shape. Houston is happy with the more minutes you want to give to Boogie. You know what Houston didn't like? Them bringing back Andrew Bogut. Like, that's a guy that they know what he can do for them defensively. Golden State doesn't need more offense. But if Golden State's going to be beaten, it's either something happens injury-wise, which doesn't look like it's going to, or Houston plays its best 2 weeks of basketball.
Houston is not worried about Andre Bogut. They're definitely worried about Boogie. I can't believe you said that. Boogie is going to destroy people. He's going to take Capella completely out of the game. This series, if they get to the Rockets, this series is not going to be the same. Capella's going to get punished. He's going to get taken out of the game earlier. And you've never seen this team, a team this great that has an inside presence like Boogie. I'm telling you, playoff time come, it's going to be a trouble for a lot of teams.
I'll make you a deal. I'll bet my sunglasses against one of your fancy medallions that if Rockets and Warriors play each other,
that Boogie will outscore Capella and win by 20.
That the Warriors are outscored when Boogie's on the court. That the Warriors are outscored when Boogie's on the court.
You're trying to get you on the technical.
I'm smarter than you. I'm smarter than I look. No, I will bet you win or loss. I'm not going to bet you on the numbers.
Well, then you got to.
You're an analytical guy. I'm the basketball guy.
Chain and
win
both
or lose.
medallions against this.
In the hood, we bet win or lose. We don't bet none of that.
Straight street. Take that.
Win or lose.